I believe absolutely in Israel's right to exist. I am a proponent of a two-state solution. And for me, this is not a referendum, I think, on the state of Israel. For me, the lens through which I saw this incident as an activist, as an organizer, if 60 people were killed in Ferguson, Missouri, if 60 people were killed in the South Bronx, unarmed, 60 people were killed in Puerto Rico.
Of course, the dynamic there in terms of geopolitics and the war in the Middle East is very different than people expressing their First Amendment right to protest.
Well, yes, but I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is just an increasing crisis of humanitarian condition. And that to me is just where I tend to come from on this issue.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and homes.
Do you think you can expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue. You know, for me, I'm a firm believer in finding a two-state solution in this issue, and I'm happy to sit down with leaders on both of these. For me, I just look at things through a human rights lens.
You couldn't answer a simple question. What did you just say? What did you mean by that, AOC? Did you mean the occupation of Palestine? What exactly? Can you elaborate on that at all? Well, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on that. I can't give you any details or any information at all at what I was claiming there. And that is what AOC is. She is an empty-headed politician, and she is the face or the future face of the Democratic Party. So what does that tell you about the Democratic Party? That they're a bunch of lunatics and people that support Hamas but don't know why, and don't understand what Hamas represents either.